Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners. On Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome to Rogers Center, and you can see way up above Rogers Center, CN Tower, and there are some people outside CN Tower enjoying that great view, and no thank you.
I bet you they weren't up there last night.
Kansas City's lineup. The lineups are brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Banking can be this comfortable. This is the rubber game of this three-game series. Kansas City has out-hit the Blue Jays in both of the first two games. They've combined for 25 hits in the first two games. Johnny GIAVOTELLA leads off tonight. Melky Cabrera's in center. Billy Butler's had a good series. Eric Hosmer, the first baseman. Jeff Francoeur, Mike Moustakas. Salvador Perez, the young catcher, has made an impression here in Toronto. Mitch MAIER gets the start in left field. Takes over for Alex Gordon, and Alcides Escobar is the shortstop.
Brett Cecil takes the mound for his 15th start of the season. Although he hasn't won since July the 29th, that was 5 starts ago, Cecil has pitched some good ball games. He has had a couple of losses, a couple of no decisions in his last 4 starts, but the Jays have only scored 6 runs for him while he has been on the mound in those starts. He's allowed a 2-run home run and 3 other hits in his last time out. That was a 2-0 loss to Oakland back on Friday.
Kelly Johnson in his first game in the American League in uniform here tonight at second base. First pitch strike to Johnny GIAVOTELLA. GIAVOTELLA was the second baseman in all 3 of these games. He moves up into the leadoff spot as Alex Gordon gets some night off. Gordon, the regular leadoff hitter. Cecil's ahead 0-2. One thing, Pat, we have noticed about this Kansas City team, they can hit.
They certainly can. They can make the adjustments from at bat to at bat, from pitch to pitch. They're young, and I think they're just learning. I think they're going to be good.
Change up. GIAVOTELLA takes it in the dirt.
The first thing that they do is they're very aggressive, especially early in the count. You throw a get-me-over fastball early in the count, and they're going to jump all over it. But then as the count starts to widen, gets a little bit deeper, they start thinking their way through their at-bats.
Now their changeup also bounced in the dirt. It's 2-2. Brett Cecil had his Season interrupted with 2 months in AAA against the Royals. Just made one start. He doesn't have a decision. But Cecil spent 2 months down in AAA Las Vegas after a slow start in April. 3-2. So GIAVOTELLA goes from 0-2 to 3-2. And showing good patience. He laid off those changeups in the dirt.
Did you see his swing early in the count? It was a little rough, a little aggressive, a little long, and now he's shortened everything up.
Bouncing ball to short. Big hop for Escobar. One down.
Defensively tonight for the Blue Jays, a couple of changes. Colby Rasmus is still out with that wrist injury, so Mike McCoy will get to start in center field. He'll be flanked by Jose Bautista and Eric Thames. Escobar and his new double play partner Kelly Johnson will form the middle of the diamond for the Blue Jays. Brett Lawrie, Adam Lind on the corners. JP Arancibia behind the plate tonight. Kelly Johnson was getting some extra work here today with Brian Butterfield.
Kelly Johnson and Escobar with a double play combination in Atlanta. In 2008, 2009, Colby Rasmus still bothered by that sore right wrist. Unable to play. Melky Cabrera, the center fielder, switch hitter, batting right-handed. Lays off that high pitch. The appeal to Scott Barry. No swing. Cabrera just 1 for 9 in the series. And it's been a struggle over his last 6 games.
Got off to such a great start this year for Kansas City. And he has kept it going for the most part. He has set career highs in hits and doubles, home runs, RBIs, runs scored, just about every offensive number you can think of. But lately he's been in a little bit of a funk.
That's the value of a good start.
Yeah, you can go into that slump towards the end of August and still have good numbers.
Cut on and miss. Cabrera strikes out. 2 down here in the first.
But Cecil has a couple of pitches that he can get you out with late in the count. He's got a changeup, he's got a cutter, he's got a curveball. This one looks like a backup changeup. Really had the timing messed up to Melky Cabrera.
Billy Butler, the DH, hitting .295 for the season. It's the first pitch strike. Cecil's in a good spot in the strike zone early on. Down around the knees.
He's driving towards home plate, which is always important. Get on top of that baseball and drive it towards the plate.
Breaking ball down and in. Billy Butler hit his 16th home run here in the opener of this series on Tuesday night. And he's been a tough hitter to deal with lately. Butler had a 3-hit night in last night's game. Pair of doubles and a single he drove into.
For his career, he's just under 300 versus the Blue Jays. He has hit 4 home runs in his career versus Toronto.
Line to third. Lawrie makes the catch. A quick inning for Brett Cecil. Billy Butler hit it hard, but right to the third baseman, Jose Bautista. Hit his 37th home run last night. He'll bat third. scored 4 runs on just 5 hits. The hitting has not been up to snuff of late. Yunel Escobar, top of the order again tonight. Eric Thames, Jose Bautista, Edwin Encarnacion moves ahead of Adam Lynn because of the left-hander on the mound tonight. Jeff Francis, Brett LAWRIE bats 6th. Kelly Johnson, the newcomer, 7th. Aaron Seavey and McCoy round out the lineup.
Jeff Francis will make his first appearance here at Rogers Center. The Canadian makes his first start on Canadian soil. Will be looking to stop a 4-game skid in which he's lost his last 3 starts.
First pitch strike, just 82 miles an hour, and that has been Jeff Francis. He had shoulder surgery in 2009, and he hasn't had that fastball we saw early in his career.
Yeah, certainly not the pitcher that he was when he broke in with the Colorado Rockies. He had one of the brighter stars, I thought, a left-handed pitcher who could strike batters out, throw hard. But right now he is reshaping himself, reforming himself, if you will.
He's ahead of Escobar 0-2. Just off the outside edge. Francis, we mentioned he's had a tough season. He is 0-3 in 4 starts in the month of August. His ERA is over 8 for the month.
Allowed a season-high 11 hits in 5 innings and a loss to Boston his last time out on Friday. The Blue Jays have faced him, though, a couple of times while he was a member with the Colorado Rockies, and he's 2-0 versus Toronto.
Little pop up into right. Francoeur initially backed up. Now he comes in, makes the catch. 1 down.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Jeff Francis, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He's not overpowering hitters. It's only about 88, 90 miles an hour, but he's got some movement on his fastball now. He needs his secondary pitches. He's got a very good changeup and a very good curveball. He has to throw those over for strikes tonight to keep the batters off balance. And he's had a lot of base runners this year, 224 base runners, which is the 13th highest number in all of baseball.
Eric Thames goes after the first pitch. Pop into left field. Mitch MAIER, the left fielder, comes over and makes the catch. 2 quick outs here in the first. Mitch and MAIER starting in left field. Alex Gordon had played 122 games out of the 130 games the Royals had played. Bautista is the man. Home run number 37 last night. First hit of the game off Luke Hochevar. Came in the 4th inning.
His last couple of home runs from Bautista have been off-speed pitches. And he's starting to get that time. Yeah, that's Luke Hochevar, who was last night's pitcher. Hung a breaking ball to him.
Little sinking changeup down and away. On Sunday in Oakland, Bautista hit a solo home run off Guillermo Moscoso. That was the only run of the ball game. That was leading off the 7th in a scoreless game.
You know, we all know that he can turn around anybody's fastball. But what's been impressive lately from Jose Bautista is his ability to hit the breaking ball. And he's been seeing a lot of them from the opposition.
2-2. Slow curveball bounced foul. Last 9 games have been good. Bautista, 4 home runs, 6 RBIs, and it's coincidental with a day off on Saturday, August 13th against Jared Weaver. He was out of the lineup, and boy, since then he has been swinging a hot bat. Full count. Now this is exactly why Bautista has Encarnacion behind him, another right-handed power bat against the left-hander Jeff Francis.
John Farrell figuring that the pitchers were pitching around Bautista, especially the left-handed starters, to face Adam Lynn. So he made the switch here tonight. He put a hot-hitting, right-handed hitting Edwin Encarnacion behind Bautista. So if they choose to pitch around Bautista, they've got some thump from the right side.
Encarnacion against lefties has hit .263 with 5 home runs. 2 outs, Bautista at first. Inside. One thing you have to do against Jeff Francis, especially with the style he's using right now, is be patient. Force him to throw it over. He's going to try to get you out pitching on the corners of the plate.
Yeah, try and mess with your timing, try and get you to swing at pitches outside that strike zone. There's a couple of different ways the right-handed batters can go ahead and look for pitches. They can look for the ball out over the plate if they want to, and guess along with him and then try and drive it into right center field. Or they can look for that one pitch, especially early in the count, inside, and then try and pull it.
Ball on the strike. Fouled out of play. Jose Bautista now with 104 walks, and look at the gap between first and second. It's remarkable that he's been able to continue to hit home runs and hit over 300, given the number of walks he's been issued.
And all the pitches that he has seen outside the strike zone. His ability to just lay back and wait.
Bounced up the middle. GIAVOTELLA at second. Encarnacion's retired. Francis gives up a 2-out walk and nothing else. We've played an inning here at Rogers Center. It's scoreless.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for the left-hander. He's got the 4-pitch mix: the fastball, the slider, the curveball, the changeup, the usual suspects, if you will. But he's been mixing his pitches well. No trouble with the lefties this year. Just a 196 batting average. He hasn't given up a home run to a lefty this year. In fact, he's only given up 21 hits all season long to the lefties. And he's been going deep. His last 7 starts, he has pitched at least 7 innings in 6 of them, and that's just what John Farrell needs.
First pitch strike to Eric Hosmer, the first baseman. Hosmer's 4 for 10 in this series. Bounce toward first. That's a fair ball in the dirt. And is able to make the play. First out here in the second. A little tricky bounce right at the end.
Hosmer's got great plate coverage. He's got ability to hit the ball out of anywhere in the ballpark. That time Brett Cecil got underneath his bat. That's a good sign when you've got those big hitters like that tapping the ball, getting on top of it.
So the right fielder, Jeff Francoeur, will step in. First pitch swinging. That looks like the old Atlanta Brave Jeff Francoeur. He is free winning. He's had a good series. He had a 4-hit game on Tuesday night. He is 5 for 10 in the series with a pair of doubles.
He's had a great year, I think. 15 home runs, 67 RBIs. He's also had 19 stolen bases. He's tied for second in Major League Baseball in doubles with 39. There's those extra bases again.
Hot shot to third. Lawrie stays down on it, and there are 2 quick outs here in the second. Brett Cecil making his 60th career start, but his last 6 starts, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, I think he really has. He's pitched 7 innings, and all those earned run averages are under 3. Very good opponent's batting average. He's been hurt by long ball. It seems like that's the only way the opposition has been able to score against Cecil, and they just haven't been able to get him runs, too.
Mike Moustakas, the third baseman, showed bunt. He's got a 7-game hit streak. That average now up to 218 because of that streak. Cecil falls behind 2-0. There's a high breaking ball for a strike. You mentioned the home run. In his last start, Brett Cecil gave up a 2-run home run in the first to Josh Willingham. Only runs of the game. He was matched up against Rich Harden. That's a foul ball. Adam Lind couldn't take a chance. He dove for it, made a nice grab of the ball, but it was just outside the bag at first.
They are playing Mike Moustakas to pull. You can see first base umpire Scott Berry right all over that one. Right away, he lifts his arms up, saying, and signaling foul ball.
This is popped up. Shallow center field. Mike McCoy in center, making his 3rd start of the season out in the outfield. Kelly Johnson will get his first at bat when we come back to Rogers Center. Amazing prizes from Sharp, including Canada's largest LCD TV, a 70-inch Sharp Arcos. Enter online and hit a home run with Sharp.ca. Sharp makes bigger, better. It is 90s night here tonight at Rogers Center, and obviously Wayne and Arthur in the house. Wayne's World, very popular in the 90s, and of course they have Canadian roots. Scoreless ball game. It'll be Lind, Lawrie, and Kelly Johnson to bat against Jeff Francis. Jeff Francis was born in Vancouver, British Columbia. Pitched at North Delta High School. And then he went to University of British Columbia and became the 9th overall pick in the draft. 2002. Interesting thing about that draft, Adam Lowen was taken in the 4th spot by the Orioles. 2 left-handed pitchers from Vancouver coming out of the same draft in the top 9 spots in the order.
I remember that. Both of them very highly rated. Francis got to the big leagues very quickly with Colorado, and Adam Lowen had his detoured a little bit with the injuries.
Adam Lind, we mentioned he dropped into the 5th spot tonight with the left-hander Francis on the mound. Well, he ties up Lynn with that inside fastball. You can see the defense is expecting Lynn to pull the ball. Even in the outfield, they're shaded to the pull side of the diamond.
Pitch him in or throw him soft stuff, and that the charts tell him that he's going to pull the ball and hit it on the ground, so they've got the shift employed.
Slow breaking ball right into the shift. GIAVOTELLA has it. Lynn's out. Interesting matchup of BC baseball players here tonight. Brett LAWRIE, of course, from Langley, British Columbia. Jeff Francis from Vancouver. They're neighbors. Not far apart. And boy, it's become a baseball hotbed out west. British Columbia has produced an awful lot of major league players. Justin Morneau, Adam Malone, anxious to get back to the big leagues as an outfielder.
I see that. Surrey, British Columbia. I know there's some players from that area in the big leagues.
19th game in Brett LAWRIE's career. Base hit. Langley 1, Vancouver nothing.
I think he has an idea at the plate. Francis tries to go away with him. He's got plate coverage and pulls an outside pitch. And these are the numbers that he has put up in his first 18 games as a rookie, where he sits for the Blue Jays in terms of OPS. Only Doug Ault and Carlos Delgado have a higher on-base plus slugging percentage than Brett LAWRIE.
And you look at the rest of those guys, they're all big power hitters. Jeff Kent, Adam Lynn, part of that list. LAWRIE's at first. Kelly Johnson in his first at bat in a Blue Jays uniform takes a first pitch strike. Johnson had a tough start to his season with the Diamondbacks. He was in the second year of a free agent contract, hitting just .209 with 18 homers and 49 ribbies.
The big problem with that is the batting average, and we've heard about the strikeouts, but we've also talked about production. And if you have a middle infielder with 18 home runs, here are his career numbers, 89 home runs in his career. What do you want? That's pretty good.
His first season in Arizona was a good one. He had a career high 26 home runs and drove in 71. Ball in the strike. LAWRIE at first. Pops this one up. Hosmer, the first baseman. 2 down. We talk about Kelly Johnson getting a fresh start. New league, got off to a slow start, and he's looking forward to this opportunity.
It's always a positive, you know. It always ends up being a better situation when you switch, and I think if you just keep a good attitude, you know, look at it like that, there's tons of positives to come in here. I mean, shoot, it's a new opportunity, and it's a new league, and it's a chance to just work with new people and try to figure it out and get better. I mean, I feel like you know, obviously haven't had the year that I wish, you know, wanted to have up to this point, but there's a lot of baseball left. So I'm thinking these guys got me at a good time because I got nothing but positives coming.
Well, he has about 4.5 weeks to audition for his new team. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Kelly Johnson's 29 years old. Came up with the Braves in 2005 as a 23-year-old. And it's got to help him a bit, Pat, to have Yunel Escobar here. Mm-hmm. They were teammates with the Braves.
When you get traded, and I'm not going to throw him in this category because he's been traded before and he has switched teams before, but when you get traded.
There goes LAWRIE, a little number out in front of home. And Sebia is thrown out, and that'll retire the side. LAWRIE got a great jump. Aaron Sebia is thrown out at first. LAWRIE gets a hit, but nothing more. Scoreless after 2. check out jayslive.sportsnet.ca. Live stats, live chats with Shai Davidi and Mike Wilner. That's jayslive.sportsnet.ca. Shai Davidi will keep you up to date on everything. He is always at the ballpark, always working both sides of the field to make sure he's up to date on everything that's happening at the ballpark. So check him out. Sportsnet.ca. Salvador Perez, the young catcher, playing in his 13th game since coming up to the big leagues. Really looks comfortable behind the plate. In this series, this is the first time he's used outside indicators and multiple signs catching in the big leagues. And it's been a little bit of an adjustment period for him.
Why not learn? Why not learn right now how to do that in case you have to do it when runners get on base?
He's just 21 years old. This is his 5th season in professional baseball. He's signed as a non-drafted free agent. September 27, 2006.
I was talking with John Gibbons, the bench coach and the catching coach for the Kansas City Royals before today's game, and I was asking him about Perez, and he says he's a natural, but he works very hard.
Here he has another base hit. This one's going to go all the way to the wall and left. Perez is around first. He's headed for second. His 3rd double of his young career.
And it seems like he's hit them all in this series. Waits back, and then jumps all over that off-speed pitch from Brett Cecil and hits it hard. Covers that pitch down the left field line for extra bases.
He's now 4 for 9 in the series. In his 3rd double, he's had a triple in this series as well. John Gibbons, former manager of the Blue Jays, really likes some of these young prospects. Kansas City's got a lot of their young talent here in the big leagues to finish up this season. Mitch MAIER, the left fielder. We mentioned that Alex Gordon, the regular left fielder, gets the night off. MAIER playing just for the 39th time this year. Ball on the stump. Kansas City Royals have done a pretty good job of having good at-bats, team at-bats, advancing runners, making sure that when you get a leadoff double, you put the ball in play at least to the right side of the infield.
You know what else? They don't strike out. Looking at the stats today on the Kansas City offense, they have the 3rd fewest strikeouts in the American League. You know who has the fewest? Texas.
That's surprising.
That's surprising. You know who's 2? This one will really surprise you. Chicago White Sox, with all those hackers that they have on that team.
Adam Dunn alone, you'd think they'd be way up the top.
And then it's Kansas City, so they put the ball in play.
This is Pope down the left field line. LAWRIE gets back in foul ground and makes the catch.
Jays on Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
But LAWRIE got over there quickly and made an easy catch of that pop-up. That's the one thing we were talking about. Move that runner up. You get a leadoff double, you've got to move him up. Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, has had a tough series. 0 for 7. Last night he grounded into 2 double plays.
I thought Brett Cecil pitched MAIER extremely well. He and J. Pierre Ancibia worked well on that left-handed batter. They kept the ball away, tried to get him to pull the ball. Just didn't give him a pitch to hit. That's part of the maturing of a pitcher. Understanding the situation and then being able to dissect it and then perform.
Bouncing ball. Escobar comes, takes it on the short hop and throws out his opposing shortstop. Good play.
You know, we certainly saw that in last night's game, I think, when the Royals had a leadoff double and Jesse Lynch was on the mound, and he pitched around that leadoff double.
Leadoff double by Billy Butler in the 7th. And then he was able to get Eric Hosmer They moved the runner to third, and then maybe the biggest pitch of the night was strike 3 to Jeff Francoeur, inside fastball.
For me, it was the biggest pitch of the game, the turning point in the ball game, if you will. Litch understanding the situation, understanding the batter, what they needed to do, and then J.P. Arencibia calling it, that inside fastball to get the strikeout.
First pitch changeup for a strike. Back to the top of the order, Johnny GIAVOTELLA. Arencibia has grown dramatically in his ability to call a game, and just what you're talking about, Pat, understanding where you are, what the situation is.
Last homestand, we asked John Farrell about that. We said, you know, in your mind, how has J.P. Arencibia improved as a catcher? He says game calling. Just like that quickly. He said his game calling's been great.
And it's all about being able to make adjustments on the fly, thinking to what the hitter is trying to do. And if you see something, and it's unusual, and I got to say this as a former catcher, it's unusual for an offensive catcher to pick up game calling that quickly. Most of the time, and you can see him reminding CECIL, now let's think. Remember where we're at right here. We got 2 outs, and you can strand this guy at second. Little looper into center. Mike McCoy got a good jump. He has to wait on the high hop. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. GIAVOTELLA slides in ahead of the throw from the catcher. So Johnny GIAVOTELLA picks up his 3rd RBI of the series. A 2-out single to center. And Kansas City has taken the lead.
It wasn't hit that hard by GIAVOTELLA, and that will help Perez to score from second base. He's leaving on the crack of the bat. A good throw from McCoy. But because the ball wasn't hit that hard, he has to wait back, and the runner can take off on contact. He will score just ahead of that throw.
Perez moves around the bases very well. 1-0 Kansas City. Mike McCoy had to wait for that big hop and couldn't really charge it all that effectively. But to get back to J.P. Arencibia, when you have an offensive catcher, oftentimes they call games as if they were hitting, instead of calling games to the strength of the pitcher. And I think J.P. has done a terrific job of learning his staff and pitching to their strengths.
That is the key right there. That the pitchers find that confidence in their catcher. I have played against catchers who I knew were notorious bad breaking ball hitters. So what do you think that they're going to call up there? Because they can't hit the breaking ball. They kept throwing the breaking ball down instead of using the strength of the pitcher.
Yep. Especially if they were offensive players. That was pretty universal. Melky Cabrera with 2 strikes pulls it foul way inside. Brian Butterfield talking to Brian Girolamo, the young catcher. He's yet to play in a big league game. But there's always something to teach young players. Always something to teach older players.
Yeah, you never stop learning in this game. When you start thinking you know it all, that's when you're out of this game before you know it.
Cut on and miss. Cabrera chases a high, hard one. CECIL strands a runner at second, but Kansas City cashes in early. It's 1-0 Royals. There was a moment of silence, and it was very sad news to hear that Mike Flanagan, former Blue Jays pitcher, had passed away yesterday in Baltimore at his home. Flanagan, 18 seasons, 15 with the Orioles, and he pitched parts of 4 seasons with the Blue Jays, including the 1989 season. He started a game against the Oakland Athletics in the ALCS. But Flanagan was 59 years old. He won the Cy Young Award in 1979, and it's all too soon, and baseball has lost a terrific person and a very good pitcher.
Good pitcher, great sense of humor, and we're going to miss him when we go to Baltimore. We'd sit around and talk. He was doing television work with the Orioles, and you're right, baseball's going to miss him.
Number 9 hitter Mike McCoy, the center fielder. Pushes a bunt up the first base side. Jeff Francis flips with his glove to Hosmer. Francis made a good play. Left-handers fall toward the third base foul line, and he responded very well and retires McCoy to start the third.
Mike McCoy was counting on Jeff Francis to fall off just a little bit more, and if you can just push the bunt by the pitcher, chances are with the type of speed that Mike McCoy has, you are going to beat it out. But Francis gets over there very quickly, catches the ball, doesn't have time to transfer it to his throwing hand, and just shovels it over to Hosmer for the out.
Jeff Francis led the Rockies in wins in 05, 06, and 07. Part of that great Rockies run at the end of the year. There's a drive toward left field. MAIER is going to be there and make the catch right in front of the warning track.
Well, one of the things that I think the Blue Jay batters are going to have to figure out now as we start the second time through the lineup for him, Jeff Francis is going to throw a lot of changeups, a lot of off-speed pitches. They can take the fastball out and start sitting on something off-speed. That time it looked like Escobar was a little bit out in front of that off-speed pitch.
There's a drive, and nobody's going to catch this one. It splits the outfielders and bounces off the wall in right center. Thames is headed for third. They throw to the relay man, and it will be cut off. Eric Thames with his 4th triple of the season. A shot to the alley in right center.
Left-handers, right-handers, relievers, starters, it doesn't matter. I think this guy is going to hit, and he has shown that he can hit. He can make adjustments at the plate. Waits for the pitch, gets it over the heart of the plate, and he doesn't miss it. Watch this sweet swing. It's quick. It's through the strike zone. And once it gets to the outfield and stays in the ballpark, he's thinking 3 all the way. And he makes it easily.
And they're going to walk Bautista with the base open. And again, John Farrell's decision to put Edwin Encarnacion behind Bautista with Francis is proven to be a good one.
Yeah, this is the only reason right now that Edwin Encarnacion against the left-handed starter, we might be seeing him hitting in the cleanup spot just a little bit more to try and force them to pitch to Jose Bautista. But if they don't, have somebody there where the advantage goes to the Blue Jays.
19th intentional walk for Bautista this season, his 2nd walk of the night. And there you see he is ahead of Miguel Cabrera, Gonzalez Canerco, and Billy Butler, all in that top 5 at Bautista. Another category in which he leads the American League. 2 outs, 1st and 3rd. Kansas City with a 1-0 lead. Big slow breaking ball. Encarnacion grounded to second his first time up. This is a difficult transition for Jeff Francis. He had the ability before his shoulder problems to blow the ball by right-handers. Up and in, good fastball. Now it's really got to be tough to fight that temptation. There he gets the fastball in on his hands.
But not unique. It's happened a lot in baseball. There have been flamethrowers, if you will, that come up, hurt their arm, and they have to reinvent themselves.
Francis' pitching coach is Bob McClure. They were together in Colorado Springs when Francis was making his way up to the big leagues, and Bob McClure had him when Francis was throwing the best. And he compares this transition to that of Frank Tanana. Same type of transition. 0-2, 2 outs. The appeal to first. Scott Perry said no swing.
And the hardest thing that flamethrowers, hard throwers have to learn to do when they become a different type of pitcher where they don't throw as hard is to be able to command the ball inside. You have to be able to throw the ball inside to throw the off-speed pitch then to the right-handers.
1-2. Slow breaking ball, pop to right. FRANCOEUR backs up. Francis gets out of it. The intentional pass to Bautista pays off as he strands a pair. Kansas City's up 1-0. And there's a lot of good news coming out of the minor leagues these days. Last night, Kyle Drabek had a good outing for Las Vegas. 6 2/3, 1 earned run, just 3 walks. Drew Hutchinson, he hasn't missed a beat anywhere he's pitched. 5 innings, no earned run, 7 strikeouts. And how about Noah Syndergaard? His first start with the Lansing Lugnuts. 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, just a single earned run. And Syndergaard is 18 years old.
Yeah, just turned 18. He only had 1 walk to go along with those 6 strikeouts.
Billy Butler goes after the first pitch. It's high and foul, and Bautista just can't catch up to it. Alex Anthopoulos, the Senior Vice President of Baseball Operations and General Manager, has to be thrilled with the progress that the minor leagues have shown. Bluefield last night clinched a postseason spot in rookie ball down in the playoffs in the Appalachian League. So there are a lot of good things going on in this organization.
And most of the kids on that Bluefield team and the Vancouver team, they're young. They're 18, 19 years old, and that's a good thing to have those youngsters winning at those lower levels.
Another pop-up. Bautista on the run. Kelly Johnson into foul ground, and that is a fair ball. And it bounces out of play. Billy Butler popped it up down the right field line, and that ball just stayed fair. It looked like it was going to drift over on the warning track like the previous one. Kelly Johnson couldn't get to it. And it looks like that ball just blew back over fair territory.
Butler hit it and just said, oh, he's out, but didn't realize how far Jose Bautista was playing off the line. He hits it and just stands at home plate thinking it's an out, but you can see how far Bautista and Johnson have to come to get that, and they just can't get there.
And it looked like Kelly Johnson anticipated being a foul ball. He just kind of gave up on it. Eric Hosmer bounces it to first. He'll get the job done. Lynn goes to the bag and beats Hosmer, but Butler moves up. Well, that's exactly the same scenario that happened in the 7th inning in last night's game. With the score tied 3-3, Butler doubled. Hosmer grounds out to first, and now FRANCOEUR. So Hosmer does his job. Butler's at third. The infield is drawn in. And this is where Jesse Litch struck out FRANCOEUR with that great inside fastball.
Yeah, threw him a couple of cutters, a couple of breaking balls away. FRANCOEUR fouled a couple of them off, and then he froze them with a fastball in the inner half.
First pitch swinging, pops it up. Shallow center field. McCoy, a long run, gets there. Butler has to hold up at third. Good job by Brett Cecil. He crowded FRANCOEUR with that fastball.
Yeah, made the attempt to go back in there and challenge him with the first pitch. And FRANCOEUR pops it straight to center field.
Halfway out of the woods. Rookie Mike Moustakas flew out to center his first time up. Billy Butler with that pop-up double. Moved to third on the ground out, now with 2 outs. Kansas City up 1-0. Moustakas, the minor league player of the year last year for Kansas City. Down and away.
Talking about a player who moved up last year and didn't miss a beat. Moustakas went to Double-A, wore it out last year.
His 7-game hit streak, he's got 12 for 22. Cecil beat him with that fastball right in on his fist. Well, this is a great example of a younger pitching staff maturing. There was a point when Brett Cecil would give up that pop double and then think about, oh, that should have been caught, or I should have been out of that situation. But now, all he's doing is focusing on getting out of the inning. Back up the middle. Another 2-strike base hit. Billy Butler comes in from third. And Kansas City throughout this series has shown the ability to hit with 2 strikes and use the whole field.
You know, not a bad idea from Brett Cecil. Curveball, breaking ball, but he just leaves it up over the plate. Hangs that one high. Hitter can reach it a little bit easier. And Moustakas has been swinging that just a little bit better over the last week or so. Sends one right back through the middle.
Perez pops this one into center field. McCoy backs up a few steps. Makes the catch. But Kansas City adds another run. Only 9 pitches for Cecil. But an RBI base hit by Moustakas. It's 2-0. Fourth inning, someone will win a 40-inch Aquos Quattron TV and Blu-ray player. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Sharp Aquos makes bigger, better. Troy Lavella, Jose Bautista talking about the positioning, I'm sure, of Billy Butler and the fact that you can't defend those loop doubles down the right field line. Brian Bellerfield talking to newcomer Kelly Johnson also in the dugout. And you've got to believe it's about that bloop hit, but you can't guard against bloop.
Yeah, a well-placed ball like Butler did. You either going to, as a right fielder, take away the double into the gap, where that's probably where the percentages say he's going to hit it. But you're right, you can't cover both.
Now, every defensive lineman is set up for balls that are hit well. I mean, you're playing to a guy's strength, and you're trying to take hits away from the batter where he hits the ball well.
Or the percentages say that he's going to hit it, and Butler's got great power the other way. You can't defend the blooper.
No, you have to guard against the alleys with Billy Butler hitting. Adam Lind 0-2. Now there's a fastball. It's 82 miles an hour, but still it's effective because Francis threw the curveball and then the big sweeping breaking ball.
And just back him off the plate just a little bit, change his eye level with that high fastball. Now you can go back in there if you want, or you can flip that curveball.
Fastball on the outside corner, 86. A well-located heater from Jeff Francis.
His first strikeout of the night. He's not the strikeout pitcher he was when he was with Colorado in 2007. Jeff Francis had 165 strikeouts in 215 innings. Now he's going to have to work the corners, and that was a perfect pitch with 2 strikes.
Brett Lawrie singled against Francis his first time up. Looks that pitch down and away. Mentioned Brett Lawrie from Langley, BC. Jeff Francis from Vancouver. Comes right back with another changeup. Everybody loves Lawrie. He has really made a splash and certainly earned every bit of it. All the attention he's getting. He plays with so much energy, it's infectious. Jeff Francis, the second Canadian to start a World Series game, 2007 against the Boston Red Sox. Fastball. Just a little bit of a cut fastball inside, ties up Lawrie. Do you have any idea who the first Canadian was that started a World Series game?
Started a World Series game?
1975.
Yes, I know. Thank you. Reggie Cleveland.
Reggie Cleveland.
See, that's right in my ear. Right there.
Reggie Cleveland from Swift Current, Saskatchewan. He and I were roommates in Milwaukee. But Reggie started a World Series game in '75 against your Cincinnati Reds.
I'm sure the Reds won. Oh, sorry.
2-2, 1 out. We are in the 4th inning. Kansas City with a 2-0 lead.
I used to love facing these type of pitchers like Jeff Francis, who have so many different type of pitches. You can think along with them, have an idea of what he is trying to do to you as he throws that one by Brett Lawrie. You think about the outside pitch, you think about the inside pitch, but if you think along with him and have an idea what they're going to try and do, you can almost anticipate when he's going to try and throw this fastball.
Almost is the key word.
Almost, but he can't throw it by you. I mean, not really. Just have to recognize it out of his hand.
Kelly Johnson looks at a curveball down and away. Johnson popped up to the first baseman in his first at bat. In the past, Kelly Johnson has hit well against left-handed pitching. In 2009, for the Braves, he hit .325 against lefties.
Stays in on him. Keeps that front shoulder in. He's got good power the other way. You mentioned the 26 home runs that he hit last year. He's got 18 this year. A lot of them have gone to left field, left center.
Where Francis is using his fastball very effectively right now. He has back-to-back strikeouts here in the 4th. Nothing is predictable. You can almost figure out where he is.
Well, he shook off PEREZ twice. PEREZ wanted the fastball. He shook him off twice and went to the changeup.
Full count. He walked it. Threw a changeup and bounced it.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Two-out walk to Kelly Johnson. J.P. and Seavey, a little squibber right out in front of home plate. He was thrown out to end the second inning. That's a big, slow curveball in there for the strike.
And then you start looking for that off-speed pitch. You start putting it in the back of your mind, and that's where you learn to throw the fastball. And as a hitter, you go back to the dugout saying, how did he throw that ball by me?
Elevates one there and missed it. So now here's where you have to just defend as a hitter. All I'm trying to do is shorten up, put the ball in play, because you know he doesn't have that fastball to blow it by you. Johnson can run a little bit. 13 for 16 so far this season. You see, Francis is using his fastball, but it's not always 100%. That was the best fastball we've seen tonight at 87, but he's used 84, he's used 86, 87, just changing the velocity. Comes back with a changeup. How about that? Jeff Francis strikes out the side in the fourth. He gives up a two-out walk, but Kansas City has a 2-0 lead. Now, time for a Jays Connected update. Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio here at Rogers Center. Presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are participants from the Jays Care Foundation Rookie League program. Welcome to Rogers Center, and hopefully Blue Jays will get on the scoreboard here against Jeff Francis and the Royals. Mitch Maier goes after the first pitch. Bautista initially lost it and then stayed with it. It is still a very tough sky here at Rogers Center. Mike McCoy, the center fielder, over there, and Bautista threw his hands up, and that's the universal sign for I don't see it.
And a good infielder, a veteran infielder like Kelly Johnson, right away pointed to that ball. And Bautista was able to go off of that. Watch him here. He sees it. Bautista doesn't. He's pointing to it. Bautista looks at the second baseman. He sees that where he is pointing and then picks it back up.
Boy, that was a great example of how the infielders can help the outfielders. Kelly Johnson didn't hesitate, turned right around and said it's right up there, and
yep.
Bautista kept looking for it in that area and finally found it. Alcides Escobar, the shortstop.
That's team defense.
Yeah,
right there.
And it's important, especially this time of the night. You've seen it throughout your career. If you don't communicate, and I think that's universal on the baseball field, you got to be able to help out your partners. And for a long time, I think baseball players in general were very reluctant to talk. And now Brian Butterfield, Torey Lovullo, all the coaches are encouraging that. Bouncing ball. Escobar comes after it for a second time. He throws out Alcides Escobar, the Royals shortstop.
The outfielders have to talk. They have to talk amongst themselves. A ball in the gap or a line drive at one of the corner outfielders. The center fielder's got a great advantage. As he watches that ball, he can tell him in, he can tell him back, he can tell him to your left or right. They have to talk to each other. And you're right, communication on the diamond is so important.
2 outs. Johnny GIAVOTELLA, backhanded by LAWRIE. Strong arm, what a play! He had to give ground and played it to the backhand, and once he got it with that cannon for an arm, it's academic. But that ball can skip under his glove and go down to the corner. Rights himself and throws a strike. Jamie mentioned, Oakland and Rich Harden were up 7-2 going into the bottom of the 5th. Harden couldn't get out of the 5th. The Yankees scored 4 in the 5th, 4 in the 6th, 6 in the 7th, and 6 in the 8th. Wow. Mike McCoy chases that breaking ball.
I'm trying to add those up like really quick. Is that 20?
22 runs on 21 hits.
But in those last 4 innings, how many runs did they score? 20?
20.
In the last 4 innings?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Russell Martin had a career game. Martin went 5 for 5. Hit one of those grand slams, drove in 6. He had 12 total bases.
Well, whoever started, I think it was Phil Hughes. I think he can win with 22, can he?
No, he didn't get out of the third.
Oof.
He went 2 2/3, gave up 7 hits and 6 earned runs. The appeal, Scott Berry has been busy down at first. He says no swing from McCoy. Yeah, Phil Hughes went 2 2/3. He gave up 6 runs on 7 hits. He faced 15 batters and he was toast. Two and two. There's a line drive to left. Mitch MAIER comes in and makes the catch. Brett Lawrie has been out here every single day at 3 o'clock working on his defense, and you're going to see the fruits of his labor.
Well, they are trying to do a few things. They're trying to get him set up with his legs, and he's a fantastic athlete, but there's a few things that you can do that you can get a little bit better. This play here, so fun to watch. They're also trying to get his arms a little bit closer to his body so he can move laterally just a little bit better. The knock on him when he came out of spring training was that he didn't have good range to his left. But you just watch him day in and day out, and he just gets better and better and better.
And Brian Butterfield and Luis Rivera are working with him every single day. And I tell you what, he's a good student. He's out here right on time every day, anxious to work. Big bouncing ball. Alcides Escobar returns the favor to Yunel Escobar and throws him out. This was yesterday before the game in pregame workout, and Brian Butterfield working with Brett Lawrie on exactly this play.
The same one. You give ground, you stay low. That's the main thing, is you have to stay low and keep your feet underneath you. You field with your feet. Keep your legs underneath you. You give ground, you get it. Now you're still in throwing position. You can see he doesn't have to have any wasted motion as he stays in that low crouch, uses his legs, and he's in a good throwing motion to make the out.
Brian Butterfield, when he works with Lawrie, says most of the time Brett's looking him right in the eyes, but every once in a while he drifts, and then I begin to wonder, have I overloaded him? And then he makes a play like that, and I said, nope, he's paying attention. Thames pops it up to left. MAIER gets underneath it. Jeff Francis needed just 9 pitches to retire the Blue Jays in order in the 5th. Just 2 hits through 5 innings. Brett CECIL, he's held the Royals to only 4 hits, but they've cashed in with a couple earned runs.
Yeah, a couple of 2-out base hits to score their runs against Brett CECIL. Both of them 5 innings. The pitch counts are low. They're not walking people. Francis just given up a triple and a single, and that's been it.
Melky Cabrera struck out twice tonight. And bunts it up the third baseline. Lawrie will let it roll into foul territory.
It's Canada's best best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
So Melky Cabrera trying to work his way on base. Put down a pretty good bunt, but it just rolled into foul ground. Cabrera's an interesting player. Could do a lot of things for you, and you add to that, he's a switch hitter. Reaches for this one and fouls it out of play.
Plays good center field. He's got 12 outfield assists for a center fielder. That's impressive. Fourth most in all of baseball.
How about Gordon has 19 and Francoeur has 12. There's a ripped ball that'll go all the way into the corner in right. Cabrera is headed for second. Bautista digs it out. Melky Cabrera with the leadoff double, saying thank you. I thought I'd never get another hit.
And that's 3 out of 4 innings now that the Kansas City Royals have had a leadoff double. Third inning, and he ended up scoring. Fourth inning, Millie Butler led off with a double. He came around to score. Cabrera, high fastball. He just punches it down the right field line for extra bases.
Just his second hit in the series. 34th double of the season. He is now 2 for 11, 2 for 12 in this series. Leadoff double, Billy Butler. Billy Butler's got a good swing. He's a big guy, doesn't generate a lot of power, but boy, he's a good hitter. Short stroke, waits on the ball and just attacks it without ever having to commit too early.
He can produce RBI. I wouldn't call him a slugger. Butler has hit 21 home runs, 15 last year. But he produces runs because he hits in runners in scoring position. He has an idea at the plate, and you're right, he's got a short swing and can pick up runs.
His career high in RBI is 93. That came in 2009. He had 301, 21 home runs and 93 ribbies. How much does the ballpark rob him of those power numbers?
I bet you it does. You know, the big ballpark there, the big K's, Kauffman Field in Kansas City. But I think he is built for that stadium. The type of hitter that he is, doubles hitter, a gap hitter, a guy who uses the whole field. And when he gets into one, it travels. He's got enough power. Followed up that season in 2009, like you were saying, with a .318 season last year. And he's closing in on 300 again this year.
2 balls and a strike. Cabrera at second. Just missed the inside corner. One thing you don't see a lot of in this Kansas City lineup is wild swings. They don't really wind up and take wild swings without much of an idea. They make you throw it open.
You know, they might early in the count when they want to try and juice one, but then they go right back to their mechanics, and that's a reflection on their hitting coach, Kevin Seitzer, right there. Billy Butler reminds me of Kevin Seitzer, where he uses the whole field. Butler's got a little bit more power, but he's that type of hitter. With 2-strike approach, they spread out just a little bit more, use the whole field.
Fouled out. Seitzer's in his 3rd season as the Royals hitting coach. He played 12 years in the majors. Played third base. He was a .295 hitter. I mean, that's a legit career. That long, hitting nearly 300 for 12 years.
Smart hitter too. Got to play with him when I was with Kansas City, and very good at picking up tendencies and ideas what the pitchers were trying to do to you.
Full count. Base hit up the middle. Cabrera had to wait on it as it skipped past him. He jumped out of the way, and the Royals have something going here in the 6th, 1st and 3rd. Nobody out. Butler with his 2nd hit of the night.
You know, he's flat out. He's just a good hitter. Sees the ball, has an idea, doesn't try and do too much with it. Watch how he waits back on the changeup and just sends it right back through the middle. Can't pick up the RBI because Cabrera has to hold up, actually jumped over the ball. hit right at the center fielder. McCoy charges it. That's how you hit with runners in scoring position.
Use the big part of the field and just protect the strike zone. Eric Hosmer, the first baseman. Hosmer's grounded to first twice tonight. Hosmer's making his 96th start at first base. This has been a good rookie season for him. Lifts this one to left field. Eric Thames over near the line coming in. Tagging at third is Cabrera, and he'll hold his ground. Thames double clutch. Cabrera didn't even fake. If Cabrera fakes, Thames has got to throw the ball, and then possibly they can move the runner into second.
The old first, third pop up down the left field line or the right field line. All Eric Thames is going to have to do as he learns to play the outfield, you catch the ball and just hit the cutoff man. Just get it in as quickly as possible. Just hit the cutoff man. That will be Brett Lawrie standing right in your picture right there. No hesitation. Yeah. Get it in as quickly as possible.
And I think if Melky Cabrera tags and breaks for home, then Thames has to throw it. And then you might get Butler at second. But there's a base hit right back up the middle. FRANCOEUR delivers. Melky Cabrera jogs home. FRANCOEUR picks up the RBI, and another base hit right back up the middle for Kansas City.
It's a simple equation. Send it right back where it came from. And if you do that, you keep your front shoulder in, you don't overstride, your swing is a little bit shorter. That approach is going to get you a lot of hits and a lot of RBIs.
Still just one out. Billy Butler at second, FRANCOEUR at first. 3-0 Kansas City. The first pitch strike. Right, Moustakas extended his hit streak to 8 games with a single in the fourth. Kansas City has out-hit the Blue Jays in all 3 of these games. They had 16 hits in the opener on Tuesday night, 9 hits last night, and already tonight they have 7 more. We've got some good young hitters getting their feet wet here this season. Moustakas pops it over into the seats along third.
Kansas City's done a good job the last few years of drafting everyday players and then getting them to the big leagues. Moustakas is one of them. Started the year last year in AA, went up to AAA and ended up hitting 36 home runs in the minor leagues.
And he's just 22. Fights this one off. Sportsnet is launching a brand new magazine September 29th, featuring stunning photography and in-depth analysis from Canada's top sports journalists, including Shai Davidi, Michael Grange, and Mark Spector. Be the first to get it. Subscribe today at sportsnet.ca/magazine. And you can bet it'll be first rate. It'll come out on September 29th. Moustakas putting up a heck of a fight here. We mentioned Moustakas was minor league player of the year, minor league hitter of the year. He won the Royals George Brett Award as the organization's top hitter.
36 home runs, 124 RBIs. Now that's saying something when you've got Eric Hosmer in your minor league system also. Hosmer had a huge year last year also.
Hosmer, very good looking first baseman with A lot of very good at bats this season. Moustakas gets jammed. Lynn goes after, goes to second for one. No time for the return to first. They get FRANCOEUR at second. Butler moves up on the fielder's choice. They're 2 down now. Runners at the corners. Salvador Perez doubled and scored in the third. Perez comes from Valencia, Venezuela, the hometown of Henderson Alvarez. In fact, they play on the same winter ball team in Caracas, the La Guaira Tiburones. But Perez hasn't been able to catch yet. You can bet he'll catch this one. But I spoke to Henderson Alvarez about Perez. They're from the same hometown. He said, yeah, we're teammates. I said, did he catch you? He goes, no, not yet. He said, this year he'll be the everyday catcher in winter ball. 21 years old, good looking catcher. Fights this one off, and it's lined down the left field line. That's a foul ball. Laz Diaz went down to one knee to make sure he had a good look at it.
That was close. That could have been trouble right there. Probably 2 runs if that ball stays fair. Perez showing some strength as he fights this ball off and hits it down the left field line. Just foul.
I'm glad it's paint and not chalk. That was awfully close, but Laz Diaz, the third base umpire, turned around and got a real good look at it. One and two, 2 outs. This one's a fair ball ripped into left field. Butler jogs home, and on the play, Moustakas is headed for third as Eric Thames laid back on it, didn't come after it, and Moustakas took advantage of it. Perez follows him into second.
You know, all you have to do is watch the left fielder if you're that runner at first base. If he gives ground, go ahead and challenge him. And I think that's exactly what Mike Moustakas did. You saw that this ball was hit in the left field, and he's going to take off on the crack of the bat. But once Eric Thames started backing up on the ball to catch it, he's going to try and go first to third. Now the problem with this is, with him being safe, Perez followed right behind him, and now he's in scoring position also.
2 runners in scoring position, 2 runs in this inning. It's a 4-0 Royals lead.
Another 2-out RBI hit by Kansas City. John Farrell told us before this series started, he said they've got a lot of good young hitters, and there are a lot of good young 2-strike hitters. They certainly are showing that in this series.
And the one thing that's been a problem for Brett CECIL is he hasn't had enough on his fastball or gotten it inside to keep him off the off-speed pitches with 2 strikes.
It's a great point. You have to be able to steam it in there just a little bit harder. Give them something to think about. Everything's about the same speed.
Well, even with Jeff Francis throwing 86, 87, he's pitched inside effectively to make the Blue Jay hitters aware of that. John Farrell contemplating his next move. Kansas City leads 4-0. Three and 1. Kansas City's done a good job with runners in scoring position. 5 for 12 so far.
Three innings they've had a leadoff double, and 3 innings they've been able to bring them around.
Off speed pitch. Maier was out in front. Another 3-2 pitch, 2 outs. Fouled it off. Kansas City has just 20 wins on the road. They are 20-40 playing away from Kauffman Stadium.
They've got to start learning how to win on the road, because starting this series, they're going to play 17 or 20 away from home.
Maier walks out to load the bases. Chris Walton has come out of the dugout, and while he's doing that, the bullpen begins to stir. A 2-out walk to the number 8 hitter.
It's been a rough inning. 30 pitches this inning. A couple of 2-out base hits to keep the inning alive. Got to figure out a way now to get the number 9 hitter.
Alcides Escobar is the batter. Sean Camp begins to loosen up in the Blue Jays bullpen. Escobar, the Royals shortstop, is 0 for 9 in the series. CECIL had a 1-2-3 fifth inning that ended on a fine defensive play by the third baseman, Brett LAWRIE. Escobar has grounded the shortstop twice. Off-speed pitch for a strike. Escobar thought it was high.
He is in there for his glove. He's really solidified the infield for the Kansas City Royals, and anything they can get offensively will be a bonus. Comes into this game, he's at 245. He's driven in 37 runs.
Goes after a bad pitch, chased one down out of the zone. He's been the one guy throughout this series that has gone after some borderline pitches. To a man, the Royals have had very patient, very disciplined at bats. Moustakas has extended his hit streak. Perez has a pair of hits tonight. He's at second. And Mitch Maier with the 2-out walk. Bases are loaded. 2 outs, an 0-2 pitch to Alcides Escobar. Wally Bell didn't like that fastball.
Not a bad idea. Try and slip a fastball by the number 9 hitter. Matthews thrown a couple of off-speed pitches.
I'd go right back there again. Kansas City's done a good job hitting off-speed pitches with 2 strikes. Four nothing Royals. Down and in. Escobar continues to have trouble against the Blue Jays. He's 0 for 10 in the series. CECIL strands the bases loaded, but Kansas City leads by 4. win additional Sharp prizes by visiting the new Hit a Home Run with Sharp Facebook page. Lots of great prizes if you are up to speed on your baseball knowledge. That's CECIL showing a little frustration in the dugout. 2 strike hits, 2 out hits really hurt the Blue Jays throughout this series. Jeff Francis pops up Bautista on the first pitch. Jeff Francis has shut down the Blue Jays totally. No runs on 2 hits.
Gave up a 2-out triple to Eric Thames in the 3rd inning. They intentionally walked Bautista. The only other base runner since then was a walk to Kelly Johnson in 4th.
Ball is hit to center field. Melky Cabrera's got a long run. He's not going to get there. Bounces on the turf, and FRANCOEUR barehands it. A leadoff double for Jose Bautista.
You know, that's one part of the game from Jose Bautista where we have seen improvement, his ability to hit the ball the other way. I think he went up there thinking if he gets an off-speed pitch and instead of trying to pull it, I'm going to try and drive it into the gap in right center field because everybody was pulled around. Ball kept tailing and slicing away from Cabrera. Another extra base hit for Jose.
When you look at Bautista's hits by direction, he's pulled most of them, 79 hits. He now has 29 hits to center field and 20 to right. I mean, that's a big improvement over last year when most of his base hits went to center and left.
I think he has that knack, the feel, if you will, at the plate, what a pitcher's trying to do to him. And he knows that Francis is going soft away. The swing certainly looked like he was trying to hit the ball that way.
Yeah, he stayed back on it. He was thinking about just driving it to the opposite way. He gets things started here in the 6th. Blue Jays got to do something to put a few hits together. Edwin Encarnacion, he is 0 for 2 so far. There's that slow curveball, very effective for Francis. Bautista, you look at the OPS leaders in the American League, and he is up there in every category, but he leads this category over Miguel Cabrera, Adrian Gonzalez, Curtis Granderson, and Paul Konerko. I don't know how you can't put Bautista as the best offensive player in baseball right now.
You just look at the numbers, and he just fills up the stat sheet everywhere.
He leads the American League in 5 major offensive categories. He's hitting over 300 at 316. Oh, 2 to Encarnacion. But Bautista, there's going to be a strong push for MVP votes for Jose Bautista. Obviously, the playoff teams get all the attention for the MVP candidates. There have only been 2 MVPs that haven't been on playoff contending teams. There's that slow curveball, and Encarnacion strikes out. Wins above replacement. It's a new statistic that is a valued measurement of how a player stands up against the rest of the league, and he is by far the leader of the pack.
A good average major leaguer, 3 or 4. I mean, a good one. A good WAR number is 3 or 4. His is almost 8, which is twice as good as the average player. That just shows you how good his year has been, and certainly a chance to be the MVP.
The only MVP the Blue Jays have ever had was George Bell in 1987. And we mentioned MVPs on teams that didn't make the postseason. It's only happened twice in the American League. Alex Rodriguez in 2003 with the Rangers, and Cal Ripken in 1991 with the Orioles. And Bautista's year measures up exactly to those numbers. Another slow breaking ball. Wynn strikes out. With 2 outs, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update. Boston, we got a pretty good look at that scoreboard when the Yankees scored 22 tonight and figured we better win this game. Yeah. Boston's won 2 straight. Started the night a game ahead of the Yankees. Brett Lawrie 1 for 2 so far. Bautista with the leadoff double. He hasn't been able to move up. A couple of strikeouts by Francis.
That's one thing that we have seen from Brett Lawrie. See how patient he is. He's got an idea at the plate what Francis is trying to do to soft stuff, change ups, and he's just spitting on it, just letting it go.
.83 mile an hour. A little bit of a cut action on that fastball, and it has tied up the Blue Jay hitters.
Francis certainly isn't pitching like a pitcher who has lost his last 3 starts. Got bombed by Boston. The White Sox got him for 6 runs in just 3 2/3 innings the time before that.
Driven to center field. Melky Cabrera turns around, gets turned around again, and stays with it to haul it in right up against the wall in center. Brett Lawrie hit it hard, but to the deepest part of this ballpark. Melky Cabrera turns, then turns back again, and stays with it to make the catch to end the 6th. .com at Bat11 app for your BlackBerry, iPhone, iPad, or Android. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Visit BlueJays.com for details. You can catch up on the Blue Jays anywhere you go. Brett CECIL starts the 7th. Top of the order, Johnny GIAVOTELLA. He is just as advertised. Has good at bats. He is driven in 3 runs in this series, hitting leadoff tonight, and rips this one just foul.
First time that he is leading off in his young career for Kansas City. known as a hitter. A middle infielder, a second baseman who can swing the bat.
Inside, breaking ball off the plate. GIAVOTELLA is now 24 years old. This is his 4th professional season. His first opportunity to play in the big leagues. But he has hit everywhere he has played. A 293 average in the minor leagues over his first 3 seasons.
You were talking about his season that he was having in AAA when he first came up here. 338, 110 games, minor league leading 153 hits this year. Last year, in 134 games in AA, he had 168 hits. Not real powerful, but you can watch him operate at the plate. He's got an idea. Very short swing.
Pokes this one to right. Bautista on the run. Makes the running catch.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Melky Cabrera will bat with 1 out. Cabrera made a nice running catch to end the Blue Jays' 6th. Goes after the first pitch and drills this one high and deep to left field. Home run, Melky Cabrera. He put a charge in that one. His 17th homer of the season. Again, the home run, the problem for Brett Cecil.
Melky Cabrera knew it too. Those are the type of hits when you swing the bat and you make contact, you don't even feel the baseball. Down and in, right into his power zone. He knew it, and I think Brett Cecil knew it also. This one lands in the 3rd deck, off the facing of the 3rd deck, and it will knock Brett Cecil out of the ballgame.
Brett Cecil goes 6 1/3. He leaves the ballgame trailing 5-0. Sean Camp when we come back. On Brett Cecil tonight, 9 hits in 6 1/3. That leads to 5 earned runs and a home run by Melky Cabrera. That knocked him right out of the ballgame.
He retired the first 6 batters, then gave up single runs in the 3rd, 4th, 2 more in the 6th, and then here in the 7th, that home run sends him to the bench. 9 hits, 6 in the 3rd innings. Just 1 walk. He will give way now to Sean Camp into the ballgame. His club-leading 53rd appearance of the season for Sean Camp. He has done much better over his last 8 2/3 innings. He's only given up 1 run. went through a rough stretch there for a little bit, and now seems to have found his way again.
Starters have been doing a good job of late, so the bullpen hasn't had to work quite as much. The ball was inside of Butler. He jumped out of the way of it, went off the glove of Arencibia.
They want Sean Camp to throw a little bit more inside. When he went through that rough stretch, it seemed like everything was out over the plate where the hitters could just reach for it and hit it. Since he has made a concentrated effort of pitching inside just a little bit more, it's been more effective.
That's a weak tapper up the third baseline. Camp went after it. He might have been better off to let it go. Brett Lawrie was right there to back him up. He didn't have much of a chance to throw out Butler. Had he let it go, it might have rolled into foul territory.
It had serious English on it. Butler off the end of the bat. Watch it bounce right there. And it's starting to head towards foul ground.
See Laurie's reaction. Lawrie may have been hollering, let it go. But Camp's reaction tells him to grab it barehanded. He didn't have a chance even if he picks it up cleanly. Eric Hosmer 0 for 3 tonight. He had a productive at bat in the fourth. After Butler doubled, he got up to third base, grounding out to first. Hosmer had a 3-hit game in the opener on Tuesday night, including his 11th home run. Hits this one into center field. McCoy gets it back in. Butler stops at second. That's the 11th hit for the Royals. They've had 36 hits in the 3 games.
Hosmer came into this game .385 this year against the Blue Jays, and that will go up with this base hit. He is a good looking hitter.
Jeff Francoeur, an RBI his last time up, breaks his bat. He's going to get another hit. Billy Butler will stop at third as Bautista gets it back in quickly. Francoeur's second hit of the night. The bases are loaded again. Kansas City left the bases loaded in the 6th.
They've left 5 on through 6 innings. This ball punched in the right field by Francoeur, his second straight hit of the night. 12 hits now for the Royals. And that's 8 over the last 2 innings for Kansas City.
Third baseman Mike Moustakas. Little tapper out in front of home. Arencibia flips to Camp just in time. Wally Bell standing right on top of the plate. Boy, that was pretty good teamwork as they flipped it to Camp.
It's not a tag play, and that's why he was called out. Billy Butler initially said, well, he didn't tag me. Well, he didn't have to. Arencibia comes out quickly, flips it to Camp, and he just swipes across the plate before Butler gets there. Nubbed out in front of home plate by Moustakas. An aggressive play by Arencibia and Camp to get the runner at the plate. You see the look on his face like he didn't touch me. Well, he didn't have to.
Now, a force out at home, but how often do you see that, a force out 2-1? Catcher to the pitcher covering home. Base is still loaded, but now there are 2 outs. Salvador Perez. 2 more hits tonight. Perez is 5 for 10 in the series. Sean Camp trying to strand the bases loaded.
Kansas City's trying to stop a consecutive home series losing streak to Toronto here at Rogers Center. And they certainly have brought the hitting out again tonight. Blue Jays have beaten the Royals 9 straight times. 9 straight series here at Rogers Center. Ned Yost's team knows that.
And this is the first stop of a 3-city road trip. Cut on and miss. It's a full count. Bases are loaded. There are 2 outs. The Royals will be off on the pitch. They've added another run here in the 7th, a 1-out solo home run by Melky Cabrera. It's our first look at Salvador Perez. They have called up most of their top prospects to get a good look at him here the final 4.5 weeks of the season.
A little on-the-job training the last couple of weeks.
Bouncing ball. Escobar waits on it. He'll go across the diamond. Perez is out. For a second consecutive inning, the Royals strand the bases loaded. But they add a run. They lead 5-0, middle of the 7th. Town tomorrow night, Friday night, August 26th. It'll be a night game starting at 7:07 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, both day games, and then a wraparound Monday night at 7:07 p.m. For tickets, call the Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. It'll be a great series of pitching as the Rays will send James Shields, Jeff Neiman, David Price, and Wade Davis to the mound in the 4-game series. Tampa Bay lost to Detroit 2-0. Doug Fister went 7 innings, shut out the Rays on just 5 hits. He struck out 5. Kelly Johnson with his first hit as a Blue Jay. He told you that he hits well against lefties, and he has come into this game 6 for 13 against Jeff Francis.
And he can stay in against the lefties and hit the ball the other way. That's what makes him so effective. Pitch out over the plate, stays right with it, and hits it by Escobar, the shortstop, for his first Blue Jay knock.
J. Pierre Ncibia goes after that first pitch. Boy, this is a pitcher where you almost have to try easier as a hitter. You don't try to hit it so far. Just try to square it up and take a line drive back up the middle.
He's been around. He knows. He can see what batters are trying to do. If they're trying to swing so hard, he's just going to soften it up on them.
There's a drive to left field. This one is far and deep and gone. J.P. Arencibia, number 20.
John Buck hit 20 home runs last year for the Blue Jays as a catcher. They get the same kind of production this year. This time from J.P. Arencibia. He goes down and gets that one. Golfs it out of here for his 20th home run. RBIs 58 and 59.
So the Blue Jays are on the board. Bob McClure out to talk to Jeff Francis as the Royals get their bullpen started. Arencibia, that ties the team record, as Pat mentioned, for homers by a catcher. Just last year, John Buck. Arencibia has had a very productive season. 59 RBI now.
That's his forte right there, hitting. And for him, they'll come in bunches. That's a good sign.
Hit a good pitch. Pitch was down around his knee, and he went down and stayed with it and drove it right out of the ballpark.
Home runs have been a problem this year for Jeff Francis. That's the 17th that he has given up.
Mike McCoy. Foul ball. McCoy would love to get on here, turn the lineup over, get back to the top of the order. Blue Jays at least are guaranteed one more trip through the heart of the order.
And that third time through, 335 average against Francis. Make those adjustments. I like your idea. Try harder. No, you try easier against a pitcher like this. That is Greg Holland, the setup man for the Royals. We saw him here a couple of nights ago.
Came in and retired the only batter he faced. McCoy pops it out of play. Yeah, and you've seen it. You've hit against guys like this where you say, boy, this guy doesn't have much. He's not overpowering. I'm going to try to hit it a long way. And you roll over, jam yourself. But Francis has been terrific tonight. This is exactly the way he has to pitch.
In and out, up and down, take a little off, put a little on.
Curveball, line to left. MAIER plays it on a big hop. McCoy gets on board. That will turn the lineup over. 3 straight hits for the Blue Jays here in the 7th.
And it will bring Ned Yost to the plate. Breaking ball. McCoy hardly any stroke. That was all done with his hands. He didn't stride towards that ball. He let him get on top of him, and then he went to swing the baseball back. Gets on with a base hit, turns the lineup over, and sends Jeff Francis to the dugout.
Francis goes 6 plus 3 batters. He leaves with the lead. Greg Holland, the hard-throwing right-hander, will come on trying to protect this Royals lead. just the same way the Yankees are with the bats. Hard throwing Greg Holland comes on. This is his second appearance of the season. He appeared in the opener on Tuesday night. Retired Yunel Escobar, the only batter he faced.
First batter efficiency, 25 for 34. Great numbers all the way around. 54 strikeouts, 14 base on balls. He's also inherited 25 runners this season. Only one of them has scored. That's set up baseball. There was a fastball, slider, and a good split finger that he had a lot of strikeouts with.
There's that hard splitter at 87 miles an hour. Escobar's been shut out so far tonight. Holland is 25 years old. He's only 5'10", but he generates a lot of arm speed. He's got a pretty good fastball. There goes McCoy, and Escobar fouls it out of play.
Good jump by Mike McCoy. Holland not paying a whole lot of attention to the runner over there at first base with a 3-run lead. Concentrating on that hitter. Got a big jump.
As members Pat was talking about, he has really been shut down in these situations. He comes on with a base runner on, and he's allowed only one of those base runners to score. Holland's very good at holding runners on. There you see Eric Thames on deck. He has a triple tonight. Trying to help out McCoy with Holland's move to first. Novello always has that stopwatch in his left hand to time the release time of the pitcher. Escobar fouls it off. Holland pitched last year with the Royals. He came up and appeared in 15 games. And after the season, Bob McClure approached him about pitching winter ball, saying you need to command your fastball better and you need to throw that breaking ball for strikes. Winter ball helped him accomplish both of those things. Ground ball could be two. Escobar to second for one. GIAVOTELLA got in time. Lionel keeps the inning alive and hustles down the line. Stays out of the double play.
When you're late in the game like this, every out is important. You've got to hustle, make it work. Now, GIAVOTELLA doesn't get anything on here because he doesn't clear his body. You see, he kept his foot on the base. You got to clear the base, come across it, get your legs underneath you, and push off from that right foot. But he doesn't do it, and that allows Escobar to beat up that roller to shortstop.
First out of the inning, Escobar hustling down the line. GIAVOTELLA just kind of anchored there at second base, couldn't get anything on the throw.
Yeah, all he had to do was keep his feet moving and get that right foot planted, and he would have had a shot at him.
Eric Thames.
Here's the turn that we were talking about. Second baseman can come across the bag, but he didn't bring that left foot with him. If for some reason he left it on the bag and then threw off that back foot instead of clearing, stepping, and using that right foot as an anchor and getting the momentum going back to first base. Get a little bit more on the throw.
Blue Jays have cut into the Royal lead. It's now 5-2. Bounced in the dirt. Escobar will move up to that. Takes the Jays out of a double play situation.
And it pretty much guarantees that Jose Bautista will hit this inning with a runner on. Breaking ball in the dirt. Perez cannot keep it in front of him. Rolls away a little bit too far, and Escobar moves up.
Bautista on deck. Walked twice and double. How many times have we said that? 3 walks and a home run. 2 walks and a double. Remarkable how he's able to hit. There's that good splitter. Looked like that got a piece of the catcher.
That's the strikeout pitch that he will use. 34 games, 54 strikeouts.
He has taken over as the 8th inning pitcher, and he's here in the 7th. But early on, it was Aaron Crow to Soria. Now it's been Holland to Soria.
Pretty effective 1-2 punch.
Blocked that pretty good for a 6'5" rookie. He's a young kid, and he's a big catcher. And watch the technique of this block. He just smothered that thing.
Smothered it. That's a tough one. That one that's way out in front like that, especially on an off-speed pitch. You have no idea where that ball is going to bounce.
Rally caps are out here at Rogers Center. They need a big hit. Just foul. Thames has a triple to the alley in right center. That came in the 3rd inning. Another bounce way out in front. Holland has thrown a couple of those hard breaking balls or splitters right in the dirt. Jeff Francis goes 6 innings plus 3 batters. Gave up a 2-run home run to Aaron Seavey and then a single to Mike McCoy, and he was taken out of the ball game. Now it's Greg Holland. Holland strikes out Thames. Good fastball at 96.
Might have been ball 4. After a couple of balls in the dirt. Looked like a fastball. That Eric swings right through for the 2nd out.
Jose Bautista had the big shot to get the Blue Jays going last night. He got the first hit off Luke Hochevar. Came with a man aboard in the 4th. A 2-run home run, number 37.
These are the best kind of situations here. Power pitcher, power batter late in a ball game.
And with another off-speed pitch. Not so anxious to use his power.
No. Not going to challenge. He's not the tying run.
Yeah, it's a little interesting given the score. That's where you really plan your strategy according to the scoreboard. There's the tying run. He's still on deck. Another off-speed pitch. Very difficult to tell between the splitter and the slider. They're both about the same velocity. Through that fastball in a great spot.
95 and it was down. If he's going to go to a strikeout pitch, this is when you want to do it. Plenty high enough right at the knees.
2-2, 2 outs. Struck him out. Boy, Holland continues to dominate. Used the fastball down and away, came back with the slider and strikes out Bautista. He strikes out 2 to end the 7th. Watch the Jays live from anywhere, online or on the go at RogersOnDemand.com.
You see the improvement every day from Brett Lawrie, and it's because he's out working every day with Brian Butterfield, the infield instructor. He's working on the backhand give ground. Well, in today's game, that play happened. He gives ground, backhands the ball, keeps his feet underneath him, and throws a strike across the diamond to get the out. Take away a hit from GIAVOTELLA. And Brett Lawrie every day is getting better and better.
And if you want to get a chance to say hello to Brett Lawrie, tomorrow, August 26th, Brett Lawrie will be signing autographs from 12 to 1 at Jay's Shop in Sears at the Toronto Eaton Center. One autograph per person, please. You can visit BlueJays.com for more information, but a chance to say hello to Brett Lawrie and get an autograph. Starts tomorrow at noon at the Jay's Shop in Sears at the Eaton Center. Mitch MAIER popped up twice. He's also walked. Ball on the strike. Fly ball toward left center. Mike McCoy, a long run, and he won't get there. Ball bounces off the wall. MAIER is flying around the bases, and he will stop at third with a stand-up triple. His third triple of the season.
He's only had 6 starts in left field this year, and when you get a chance to start, you got to do something. He walked his last time, and he smokes this ball. Mike McCoy was shading him shallow into right field, so he's got a long way to go, and he's not going to run this one down. MAIER, the 4th outfielder for Kansas City, helps out the ball club with a leadoff triple. Now the infield has to come in.
Big insurance run down there at third base. Infield drawn in. Shortstop Alcides Escobar. Big wild swing.
He's been struggling offensively. You see the numbers, and he hasn't had a hit in this series. Taking a very long look down at third base.
Yeah, he's a good candidate to bunt here, given the series he's had so far.
You saw him take a quick look to see where the third baseman was.
Not showing, but takes strike 2. Sean came into the game in the 7th inning with 1 out. Makes a good pitch, but Escobar lays off. Camp would strand the bases loaded as he got Moustakas on a play at the plate, and then got the catcher Perez to ground to short. Bounced foul. Ned Yost, the manager of Kansas City, got a glimpse of Alcides Escobar in Milwaukee. Yost was the manager there. Escobar came up for just a cup of coffee in the last year. Poked to the second baseman. Escobar is out. MAIER holds his ground at third. Jeff Francis making his first start on Canadian soil in the big leagues. Does a good job. 6 innings. He scattered 6 hits. J.P. Sabia with the 2-run home run. He walked 3. One of those was an intentional walk.
He got into the 7th inning and just couldn't retire a batter, but I was impressed with him. We were talking to some of the announcers for the Royals before the game, and they said he's had some bad luck in some of his games. That's why his record isn't very good. He's pitched better than his record would indicate. Tonight he looked outstanding.
He should have, and he just pitched a very patient game. Top of the order, Donnie GIAVOTELLA had an RBI single in the 3rd inning. Kansas City up by 3. Again, this Kansas City approach at the plate, very tough in these situations because he's looking for the ball out over the plate. Switch hitter Melky Cabrera hit a home run his last time up. Kelly Johnson fires to home, and Arancibia, what a good tie. JP Arancibia didn't go around his glove. He turned opposite and cut off the sliding Mitch Maier. Boy, that's a good tag, and the only chance he had at tagging out Maier.
Too slow if he goes towards third base to come back. The throw takes him there. The Kansas City Royals are playing contact play. They're going to use the speed to try and steal a run here. The throw is towards the first base side of the infield. So instead of pulling back around, he just 360, go all the way around, throw the glove into the dirt, and he gets the tag at the plate.
Boy, that was a heads-up play by Arancibia. Wally Bell, the home plate umpire, was positioned perfectly to see that tag. But Kelly Johnson's throw was on the outside of home plate, first base side, and Arancibia, instead of trying to fight that throw, went with the momentum and just spun around to his right, made a good tag.
Watch where the throw is. It's towards the first base dugout. And you're right, if he tries to come back and go back and block the plate, he's going to be safe. But he is called out.
Melky Cabrera batting left-handed against Sean Kemp. Cabrera has his average back over 300. He's doubled and homered in his last 2 at-bats. He's hitting for the 3rd straight inning.
Take one more look at that play as Arancibia reaches for the ball. The throw takes him away from home plate. That's why he had to go out and get it, and then swipe tag, comes back around and gets him right before he touches the plate. I don't think I've ever seen a catcher make the play like that. You know, you're taught to anchor yourself and block off home plate, but he had to improvise just a little bit.
Yeah, the ball will take you where you need to go. And in that situation, had he tried to go back to his left, he would have been way late. But the momentum of the baseball took him right around to his right. Had a good play.
Just dive right at that plate. And he got the call.
Kelly Johnson in his first game here with the Blue Jays. Had a good play there. He picked up his first hit. He's 1 for 2 with a walk, and he scored a run tonight. Melky Cabrera, 3 straight hits. Turned his series around with a 3-hit game here tonight.
Cabrera likes the ball out away from him, out over the plate, where he can play with it. This time Camp throws it out there, and he just goes with it. That's his swing right there. He likes the ball away where he can drive it back through the middle.
Well, the Royals have had a ton of base runners throughout this series. In last night's game, Kansas City stranded 11. Had 9 hits, have scored only 3 runs, and for the bullpen, Jesse Litch and Casey Jansen, Frank Francisco, they did a terrific job late in the game. DH Billy Butler facing Sean Kemp. Butler's had 7 hits in the 3-game series.
Sits at 299.
That ball is driven to left. Ames back on the track, over his head, off the wall. GIAVOTELLA comes in. Right behind him is Melky Cabrera. And Billy Butler has had some series. He drives home 2 more runs with his 4th hit of the night.
He's quick inside. He's got a good approach at the plate. Kansas City is a team that has 4 players with 30 or more doubles, and you can see why with their approach at the plate. Tries to go inside and be quick, very quick on the inner half, but it's just over Thames' glove. 2 more RBIs for Butler, another double for Billy Butler. It's now 7-2, and the Royals have piled up 15 hits.
Sean Kemp is out of the ball game. It'll be the left-hander Rami Lewis. When we come back, he'll face Eric Hosmer. The AL Central, they've lost a couple in a row. They have slipped to a game under 500, and in an effort to close ground on the front-running Tigers, they have picked up Jim Tillman. And what a great way. If he indeed decides to call it a career at the end of this season, he's going to finish up where he started.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, too. Travis Hafner just had to go on the disabled list for the Cleveland Indians, and they are missing a left-handed bat. Grady Sizemore is still not back also for the Cleveland Indians. Yeah, it just makes a lot of sense. So they were able to work that out, and Jimmy gets to go back to the Cleveland Indians.
12 homers and 40 RBI this year for Minnesota. Rami Lewis makes his 2nd appearance for the Blue Jays. Lewis appeared in the game on Saturday out in Oakland. They gave up a 2-run home run to the pinch hitter Josh Woodingham. Eric Hosmer, left-handed batter, makes the first pitch strike. Well, Kansas City, another big night at the plate. They had 16 hits on Tuesday night. They have 15 hits here tonight. Rami Lewis had thrown the ball very well, finishing up down in AAA before he was called up. And in talking with Brian Girolamo, the 3rd catcher on this team who spent the season with Lewis in AAA, said that his sinking fastball and cut fastball have really improved.
Well, he certainly has plenty of arm. Got a good fastball, a good slider, basically. Throw a changeup every now and then. Had 4 saves while he was with the AAA team to go along with 3 wins. He was with the Blue Jays last year for 14 games. Pitched out of the bullpen.
0-2. 96. It's all about command with Rami Lewis. He's 28 years old. He'll turn 29 on the 2nd of September. Ground ball. He goes to first and retires Eric Hosmer, but the Royals have added to their lead. They lead by 5. Now it's time for a Jays Connected update. Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn standing by in the Blackberry broadcast studio. running on your Rogers smartphone. Now available for all Rogers customers. Sign up today at RogersOnDemand.com. It'll be Encarnacion, Lind, and LAWRIE here in the 8th inning. Blue Jays trail by 5. Greg Holland came into the ball game with a man on and nobody out, and was able to get out of that inning. A couple of strikeouts. He struck out Eric Thames and Jose Bautista to end the inning.
Another runner left on base. He's only given up one inherited runner all season long.
2 balls and a strike. Blue Jays need some base runners, and Holland has been stingy in that regard. Two and two.
Different approach at the plate now after facing Jeff Francis, who really did a good job of keeping the Blue Jays off balance. Now you've got the pure power of the setup man here, so you got to change your idea at the plate.
Holland has kept hitters to a 172 average coming into this game, and he didn't walk many.
Yep, just 14 walks.
What do you see as the root of the problem for the Blue Jays hitters of late? They have really scuffled to put many hits together.
A couple of things. At times a little bit impatient at the plate, not taking what the pitcher gives them, swinging at pitches out of the strike zone, and not really having a plan at times of how they're going to attack the pitcher.
Ball is drilled to center field, and Cabrera will watch it bounce off the wall. Encarnacion goes to second with a stand-up double. His 31st double of the season. Starts things off for the Jays here in the 8th.
He's been good in that respect. Fastball out over the plate. He knows 3-2. He doesn't want to walk him, so he can sit on a fastball and stays right with it. Blasts it to right center field. Extra bases for Encarnacion. You know, you were talking about the approach at the plate. This little mini slump that the hitters have gone through, it's been the same type of pitcher that the Blue Jays have had trouble with.
Adam Lind lays off that first pitch breaking ball.
Rich Harden beat the Blue Jays a couple of times in the last week. He's got a great changeup. Bruce Chen beat him the other day. He's got a great changeup and a good curveball. Same thing with Jeff Francis here tonight.
Adam Lind 2-0. Bruce Chen went 7 2/3, just 4 hits allowed. Picked up the win in the opener. In the month of August, Adam Lind is the only major league regular with 60 or more at bats not to have a walk. And now it's 2-1. Wally Bell called that last pitch a strike. But it has been a real tough month for Adam Lind in August.
The harder, the better, I think.
Grabs that ball down the left side, but foul.
Trouble with those left-handers who don't throw very hard, where they sweep the breaking ball to him. And I think this type of pitcher he's better suited for.
July 20th, Lind's average was still at 300. And now he's down to 258. It's been a real nosedive for Lind here in the month of August. Coming into this game, he hit 185 for the month and had a 193 on base percentage. It's a piece of that breaking ball. 7-2 Kansas City leads it. They are on the verge of winning the series 2-1. We are in the 8th inning. That's something they haven't done very often in this ballpark.
They haven't won a series here since 2002 at Rogers Center.
'97 with the fastball. Another strikeout for Holland. Well, the pitching in this series for Kansas City has been off speed with Chen and Francis, and you're going to get the best Tampa Bay has to offer coming up over the weekend.
Same type of pitcher tomorrow night. James Shields, he's got a great changeup, and he throws a lot of pitches over the strike zone. He's got great control. Jeff Neiman's got a good curveball. Price is just pure power. Blue Jays have faced these guys so many times, so they're very familiar with them. Henderson Alvarez gets his first crack at him.
It'll be interesting to see Alvarez attacking that Tampa Bay team. Evan Longoria has really picked it up. He started out hurt, started off slow, but boy, the RBIs have been coming about 1 a game for him over the last 60 games.
I think I saw a stat since June the 11th. He leads the major leagues in RBIs, over 60.
Brett Lawrie 1 for 3. Tampa Bay trying to keep their hopes alive. They have stayed close to those front-running clubs. They're 8.5 back. And Lawrie goes to right. Francoeur with a long run. He won't get there. And that's past it. Lawrie can fly. He's around second, headed for third. Francoeur gets it back to the infield, and you can bet Lawrie was thinking about an inside the park home run. But Francoeur got back in a hurry. Encarnacion scores on Lawrie's triple.
He needed about 5 more feet for the ball to get by Francoeur, and he would have had that inside the park home run. Francoeur comes over, tries to make the shoestring catch, just cannot, and then runs it down before it can get to the warning track. If it does, Lawrie, you're right, he can really run. Pick him up, put him down. He's thinking inside the park home run. But he is held up, being down by 4 runs at third base. Another extra base hit for Brett Lawrie.
Third triple of the season. Kelly Johnson had a base hit his last time up. Kelly Johnson can smoke a fastball. Holland's got a good one. That split sailed away. Johnson singled to left his last time up. He's also walked tonight. That hard breaking ball down in the dirt. Johnson goes after it. 1-2.
Need that 2-strike approach that we have seen from the Royals all series long. Short it up, keep it in the middle of the diamond.
Ground ball right here will get you a run. 7-3 Royal lead. Laid off that pitch down and in. It's 2-2. Kelly Johnson playing in his first game with the Blue Jays. Full count. Johnson was traded to the Jays for Aaron Hill and John McDonald. Three and two, 1 out. Brett Lawrie at third. Fly ball down the left side, and it'll reach the seats, out of play. Kelly Johnson's 29 years old. Former first-round pick of the Atlanta Braves. This is his 6th year in the big leagues. Came up with the Braves in 2005. Became a regular in 2007. He takes the walk. First in third. Still 1 out. Johnson's been on base 3 times tonight.
Collins thrown a lot of pitches. He's an 8th inning man, basically a 1-inning guy. He has thrown 40 pitches now. A lot of 3 and 2 counts, a lot of strikeouts. He has worked 1 and a third inning. He's given up a run, and the 2 runners on base are his responsibility. So Bob McClure is going to go out, fiddle him down just a little bit. Try and get them through this inning. They have some action in their bullpen.
Following this baseball game, Sportsnet Connected bring you all the highlights of the day's action, including a Yankee thrashing of the Oakland Athletics. Yankees scored 22 runs. They had 5 home runs. Canadian Russell Martin had a 5-for-5 day, including a grand slam. Aaron Crow, the right-hander, is starting to loosen up.
I think if you would have told the Oakland A's you're going to score 9 runs and have 15 hits, I think they would have taken that.
Yeah. Not the case tonight. Aaron Sebia goes after the first pitch. Aaron Crow warming up because Greg Holland has now thrown 41 pitches. His season high in pitches came way back on the 1st of June against the Angels. He threw 43 pitches in 2/3, so he's getting close to the end. Aaron Sebia, center field. Cabrera's got room. Lawrie's tagging at third. Johnson's tagging at second, and he is in there.
GIAVOTELLA dropped the ball at second base, or there was going to be a play. You were talking about it earlier that this outfield has 43 outfield assists, 14 more than the second place Baltimore Orioles in outfield assists, and Melky Cabrera might have had another one. Both runners tag on that long fly ball to center field. Lawrie scores, and the play at second base, it was there, it was on time, it was on the fly, but he just dropped it.
Kelly Johnson had a chance to see Cabrera last year when Melky was with the Braves. Cabrera made another good throw. Mike McCoy has a single that came in his last at bat. It's a 7-4 game now as Aaron Sebia picks up his 3rd RBI of the night. He now has 60 for the season. Little 2-out base hit right now and make things awfully interesting.
Very interesting.
Holland strikes him out. High fastball, and Holland has 4 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work. Blue Jays are down by 3 as we go to the 9th now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Martine Geyer. get back here tomorrow night at Rogers Center. It'll be the first of 4 against the Tampa Bay Rays. Tomorrow the action begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show. Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn will get you set for the action. It's a 4-game weekend series. Henderson Alvarez will start things up for the Blue Jays. He'll open up the series. He'll be opposed by the veteran right-hander James Shields. Tampa Bay's last visit to Rogers Center for the season. Jeff Francoeur, 2 for 4 tonight. Francoeur signed a 2-year contract extension last Thursday to stay in Kansas City. Hits that breaking ball hard down the left side. He fits into what the Royals are doing, even though he's a little bit older than some of the younger players that have just been called up. But he's a good outfielder, good base runner, and he's kind of a hitter that fits very well at Kauffman Stadium. Uses the whole field.
Uses the whole field. Good 2-strike hitter. That one looked like it got him around the knee.
He's going to make his way to first, and difficult to tell just exactly where it hit him.
It was the back leg somewhere. Fastball in on the shin or the knee.
Just below the knee on that flat part of your shin bone. Not much meat there on your leg, and certainly he felt the entire impact of that baseball.
It's the kind of ball where a right-handed hitter from a left-handed pitcher, that ball just tracks. And you try and get back out of the way, but it just keeps coming in on you. You can break bones when you're hitting that spot right there, hairline fractures. It'll take a while for that one to wear off.
Trying to get the feeling back there at first base. Rami Lewis retired the only batter he faced in the 8th inning. He got Eric Hosmer on the comebacker, and now he's hit Francoeur to start the 9th. It's a 7-4 Kansas City lead as they bat in the 9th inning. Third baseman Mike Moustakas. Moustakas was the Royals' #1 pick in 2007. He was the 2nd pick overall. Kansas City's done a pretty good job of not only signing their top draft picks, but moving them through the system quickly. And they have quite a few of them here in the big leagues now.
You have to recognize the talent, and they've gone with young talent. Get them developed in your farm system. They've had a lot of high draft picks the last few years. Eric Hosmer was a high draft pick. You mentioned Moustakas. Alex Gordon was 2nd overall. He was a 1st-round pick. Last night's starter for Kansas City was the 1st pick overall in the draft. Luke Hochshaver.
Yeah, it's one thing to have high draft picks. It's another thing to sign them and then develop them and get them to the big leagues. 3-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th is the top of the Blue Jays order. Escobar, Thames, and Bautista. It's important to keep it a 3-run deficit here.
And I think that's why Jesse Litch has picked up a baseball, and he's trying to get loose very quickly. They know the value of those add-on runs, and Litch has been good.
Litch and Casey Jansen in last night's game were great. Litch gave up a single, but nothing more. This is popped up behind home plate. Aaron Sebia flips the mask away and drops the ball. Just lack of concentration. The ball popped right out of his glove. That's his 5th error of the season.
A lot of times you'll see infielders go with 2 hands. When that ball goes in there and you close it with that other hand and keep that ball inside there, he goes up with 1 hand, it just pops right out. Takes his eye off of it just for a second.
Gives Moustakas life. There goes the runner. This ball is drilled toward the gap, and it's going to get down and go all the way against the wall. FRANCOEUR around third. He's going to come in to score, and boy, Moustakas didn't waste any time taking advantage of that error by Arencibia.
High breaking ball from a lefty, left on left, and really spit his bat up. Gave him an extra crack at Rami Lewis, and he takes advantage of it. Moustakas has had a very good series also. You can see that high breaking ball, and he doesn't miss it. 36 home runs last year. You can see why. Powers that ball short up to the wall in right center field. FRANCOEUR, who was off on the pitch, scores easily, and that makes it 8-4.
So Rami Lewis will hand the ball over. It'll be Jesse Litch when we come back. Kansas City has extended their lead. Of relief last night. You see his numbers as a reliever. This is his 10th appearance, and across the board his numbers are very impressive.
Just a 2.5 earned run average in those 14 innings. Lots of strikeouts, few walks. He has done a heck of a job since moving into that spot in the bullpen. He can come in and just give everything for that 1 inning or 2 innings. Doesn't have to worry about trying to get 18 outs like he had to as a starter.
Salvador Perez, the catcher, 2 for 4 with an RBI. He's also scored a run. Mike Moustakas at second. This is not what John Farrell wanted to do with his bullpen at this point of the game. You've got a 4-game series coming up against Tampa Bay. Jesse Litch has been a 7th inning guy consistently, and now you've got to use him to try to get out of the 9th here.
He has also used him for multiple innings, and you got a big 4-game series, and those games are always tight with Tampa.
Good pitch ties up Perez. Yeah, you never figure to have too many runs scored, and you're going to have tight ball games, and Litch has been as consistent as anyone in the bullpen since he's moved into the reliever role, and now you got to use him tonight. Henderson Alvarez and Luis Perez will open it up as the starters in the first 2 games of that 4-game set. Ball gets away from Arencibia. Litch gets on it, but Moustakas moves to third. This turned into an ugly inning. FRANCOEUR was hit by a pitch. Arencibia dropped the pop-up. He was charged with an error, and now the wild pitch goes off Arencibia, and Moustakas moves to third. That forces the infield in. They're halfway. 1-2. Perez came into this series batting 194. His average sits at 250 now. Strikes out Jesse Litch with a good fastball.
He has hit everything this series. Breaking ball, fastball, but not this time. Litch throws that four-seam fastball right by him to get the first out.
It seems to me that Jesse Litch really has a good feel how to use his pitches as a reliever. Like, he just blew that fastball right by Perez. He seems to be able to read the bats a little more effectively here.
A couple of years ago, it seemed like everything he threw, and he's got the natural cutting action on his fastball. He can, you know, make it look like a slider, but everything was going the same way. And they actually sent him down to the minor leagues a couple of years ago to find that four-seam fastball, one that straightens out, one that he can throw in on right-handers to give him a little something extra to think about. He's got all the other pitches, curveball, the changeup, things like that, but that one pitch, and it certainly has been a weapon for him.
He gets ahead of Mitch Maier. 0-2, 1 out. Moustakas at third. Maier getting the start tonight to give Alex Gordon the night off, and he's chipped in with a triple. Bounces this ball foul. Boy, Kansas City's had lots of opportunities tonight. They are 7 for 21 with runners in scoring position. 16 hits again tonight. Second time in the series they've had 16 hits.
21 at bats with runners in scoring position in one game. You mentioned all the runners that they left on base in last night's game too.
Last night they stranded 11. Melky Cabrera with 3 hits in his last 3 at bats tonight.
Tough to strike him out. That strikeout by Litch to Perez, just the 4th time tonight that the Royals have gone down via the strikeout.
One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. To give you an idea how much more effective Jesse Litch has been out of the bullpen. The opponents hit 268 against him as a starter, just 140 as a reliever. And that's dramatic. And obviously, when you're a starter, you have to go through the lineup 3, maybe 4 times, and you have to be able to make adjustments. But it seems like right now he's better suited to pitch out of the pen.
You know, as a starter also, you have to use all of your pitches. As a short inning reliever, a 1, 2, maybe 3 inning reliever, you can get by with cutter, fastball, 2 pitches if you throw them, and you throw them effectively, maybe 3. You don't have to pace yourself.
2-2. Mitch Maier making Jesse Litch work. Another thing it's doing, is elevating his pitch count. That's the 13th pitch Litch has thrown since coming into this game. You get up around 20, 22 pitches, you're going to need a day off.
We saw that with Casey Janssen when he threw 3 innings out in Oakland. He needed a couple of days off.
Full count. Janssen with that 3-inning save on Sunday threw 49 pitches and got his 2 days off. And he came into the game again strong last night. Terrific inning of work, threw 15 pitches and 10 strikes. Maier's hanging tough, putting up some battle here.
He certainly is. get a chance to play. Not a start again, just his 6th start in left field. Got to do something to show your manager that you can help the ball club.
Three and two. Drives this one to right. Bautista back over his head and makes a fine running catch. The tagging is Moustakas at third. MAIER is robbed of an extra base hit, but picks up an RBI with a sac fly. What a catch by Bautista.
Doing a little bit of everything. He is a really good right fielder. Gets good jumps on the ball, good reads. And he just reaches up behind him, it looked like, to make that catch. It'll go as a sacrifice fly and an RBI for MAIER. But look at Bautista reach up over his head behind him to haul that one in.
Oh, what an effort. As you mentioned, he got a good break and just focused in on that baseball and made a determined catch and right. But now the Royals have added 2 more. They have scored in 4 straight innings. 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and 2 more here in the 9th. Alcides Escobar, he's the only Royal that's going to want to leave this ballpark. He hasn't had a hit in all 3 games. Drives this ball to center field, and he will remain hitless. 0 for 12 in the series. But the Royals have a comfortable lead as the Blue Jays will bat bottom of the 9th. Kansas City leads it 9-4. Royals bullpen, it is a non-save situation. He will be working, just trying to close this game out. Soria picked up a save in the opener. Alex Gordon comes off the bench. Remember, Jeff Francoeur was hit by the pitch to start the 9th inning, and he has been lifted from this game. With that, Mitch MAIER moves from left to right to take over for Francoeur. So Gordon will go into Francoeur's spot in the batting order.
I guess that's a tough spot, I guess, for a manager. It was a save situation before the inning began, or top of the inning. And once you get your closer up and throwing, do you set him back down when it becomes a 9-save situation? Or do you leave him in since you've got him up, you've got him warm, he comes into the ball game? And we have seen closers, when the adrenaline's not working in a non-save situation, give up a couple of runs.
Kansas City will go from here to Cleveland and continue on to Detroit. 3-game series in each of those cities. And they don't have any off days until the 12th of September. So Soria is in, and you're right. He got him up, thinking it might be a save situation. They tacked on 2 more runs, so Soria was ready to go. So instead of putting him away wet in the barn, they bring him in to pitch.
Yep. That's always a tough thing. Relievers could wait for the first out, but then they don't have enough time to get loose in case there's a couple of more quick outs. Generally, managers will say, once I get him up and get him warm, he's in the game no matter what.
Escobar slices it foul down the right side. Yunel's gone 0 for 4 tonight. Breaking ball off the plate outside. It's a full count. Kansas City came into this game 5th in the American League in batting average, hitting .267 as a team. Just 1 point behind the Yankees and 2 points behind the Tigers. So they're right among the elite teams offensively as far as batting average. Escobar hits it to right. MAIER just moved over to right to start this inning. 1 out. Take a look at the next 5 series. Tomorrow night, we mentioned the Rays are in town for 4. Then we'll go to Baltimore for a 3-game series. 2 night games and Thursday afternoon before going to New York for the Labor Day weekend series against the Yankees. And then Red Sox, Orioles right back here at Rogers Center.
Back to the East. And whenever you're facing the Yankees, Red Sox, Rays, you know you're going to see some good pitching. It's usually John Lester, CC Sabathia.
Well, the guy now that's pitching so well for the Red Sox is John Lackey.
How about that?
He's really turned his season around of late. Eric Thames 1 for 4. Thames hit a 2-out triple in the 3rd. John Farrell, the manager, generally sits right there where JP Arencibia is sitting, and he doesn't appear to be in the dugout. Obviously, we don't have any idea where he is at this point, but oftentimes he has other responsibilities. As you can see, there's John Farrell. In between innings, he was walking toward the clubhouse with the trainer, George Poulis. That's never a good sign when the manager has to go anywhere with the trainer. Eric Thames cuts on a fastball and strikes out. Second time he's struck out tonight.
And again, a high fastball from Joaquin Soria. He gets up there at 92 miles an hour. This is by design to throw it up there, and he just can't lay off of it. Soria has been great before this year. 91% of the time he was saving ball games. This year it's down to 76. He has blown 7 saves this year. Got off to a rough start, but he's back to his old self, I think.
Royals have been pleased with what they've seen of late. That's the cut fastball that some people believe robbed Soria of some of his velocity. He fell in love with that cut fastball, and his idol, of course, like any closer, is Mariano Rivera, who throws nothing but cut fastball. But Soria is an interesting reliever, and he's got all the pitches.
Yeah.
You mentioned his ERA this year is at 4.22 compared to the 4 previous season, a combined 2.01.
Yeah, he was pretty much close to automatic. That looked like a curveball at 69 miles an hour. The 7 blown saves that I was just talking about, more than any time in any season before this one for Soria. In fact, there was a time earlier this year where he went into Ned Yost and they decided to take him out of the closer's role for a while.
Yeah, he went in there at that time and talked to his manager, Ned Yost, and suggested, you know what, there's other guys on this team that could do a better job than me right now. But they got him straightened out. Bob McClure, the pitching coach, got him to use that fastball a little more effectively, and certainly earned his way right back into that closer's role. Bautista rips it into left field. His second hit of the night. 2 hits, 2 walks. He is 2 for 3. The average will be bumped up again.
Jose Bautista came into this game leading the American League in on-base percentage at .454. And that'll go up now, being on base 4 times.
Mentioned Bautista leads the American League in 5 major offensive categories. Edwin Encarnacion tries to keep things alive here. Blue Jays are down to their final out. Bautista goes into second. Bautista will not be given credit for a stolen base. He's hit .438 in his last 10 games. That goes back to the day off against the Angels and Jared Weaver on August 13th. Encarnacion drives this ball to right, carrying a long way. It is gone. 2-run home run for Edwin Encarnacion. His 13th of the season. You were right about closers coming into non-save situations, Pat.
They just don't have that extra adrenaline where they can just reach back. And Soria doesn't do it here. A single, and now this. We saw Encarnacion go deep last year in Minnesota, so he's got power to all fields. This time he slices the ball 330 feet down the right field line for that home run. He doubled to right center field his last time, and this time hits one over the wall for number 13.
Double and a homer tonight for Encarnacion. Adam Lind. Lind has gone 0 for 4 tonight with 3 strikeouts. Blue Jays just couldn't keep the Royals in check late in the game. They scored 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and 2 in the 9th.
They've matched them in every inning also except that 6th inning. Blue Jays scored 2, 7, 8, and 9 now. Those add-on runs late.
Two balls and a strike. Two and two. John Farrell still hasn't returned to the dugout. Blue Jays down to their final strike. And drives it down the left side, but it's going to slice out of play. Edwin Encarnacion, the opposite field home run just inside the foul pole down the right field line. His 13th home run of the season. And he didn't homer until his 38th game of the season. He got off to a terrible start with the bat. He's had a great second half.
It seems the more or the harder he tried to hit that first home run, the worse he got. And then as soon as he hit that first one, he's taken off.
Then strikes out. Big slow curveball does it, and Kansas City wins the series 2-1. Soria gives up a pair of runs here in the 9th, but the Kansas City hitters 16 hits again tonight. They win the series, win the finale 9-6. We'll be back tomorrow night. Stay tuned for Connected. Thanks for watching.